Hey guys, how are we doing tonight? Hello. I do have my camera in a different spot, so let me know if you guys like it or you don't like it. I have a different setup, so welcome on in. So if I'm a little all over the place, that's probably why. Aw, me, myself, and I said, hey, Tanya, I've been waiting all day for this. Yay! Me too, actually. Today was kind of like a long day. I was ready to come on live earlier, but I didn't know if you all would be on live, so I decided to wait till our regular scheduled time. But I am streaming to Facebook as well as YouTube tonight, although I don't have my Facebook up, so I need to get that up. That way you guys on Facebook, I can see if they're writing anything over there. But I do have a really good show for you guys tonight. So we'll let some people kind of come in as everybody's coming in. If this is your first time here, hello and welcome. If you guys do appreciate today's case coverage, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. If you already subscribed to the channel and you're a returning Titan, welcome back for yet another live. We got some people coming in. There we go. I like that. Please just take a second, if you guys don't mind, just to hit the like button, and we'll get into this here shortly. If you do love the channel and you want to become a member and you're not a member yet, I'll put the link in the chat as well. And I'll do that throughout the live for us. Now, let's see. We're going to go ahead and get right into some things tonight. So we do have a pretty good show, I think. I think it's going to be a good one. So last night on our live, we went over the day before the homicides occurred on King Road in Moscow, Idaho. So that's what we're gonna pick off, kind of like where we left off, pick up where we left off last night. So we'll be more focused on the 13th through the 20th. And it's basically going to be like the news press, like the press releases, the press conferences that came out, and stuff of that nature. So I think it'll be good to go back through it. And there was one new document that came out today. It's not much. It's not much at all. But we always read all the documents on here. So I'm just going to pull it up really quick just to show you guys. It's just for the Zoom, the Zoom link. And I printed this out before they redacted it. So in the beginning, they had put it out and they had like the Zoom link and the Zoom password. And I don't know if they ever ended up changing that, but I had it printed out and I'm like, I was so tempted to try to sneak in there and listen, but they would catch me and I'd be in so much trouble. So it's just an order regarding the notice of hearing for Zoom information. It's all redacted, but it's for the motions hearing that they're going to have on the 18th of August. So Friday. So that's coming up. Yeah, Friday. I'm not sure if it'll be recorded or not, but I'm sure it will be. If Kohlberger's there, and he's going to be. So I'm sure it'll be recorded, and then we'll probably get it that evening. So we'll have it on the live for that evening. So that's just the new stuff that's come out. So what we're doing is we're going back in time, but if there's anything new in the beginning of the lives, we're going to cover the new stuff. So, but yeah, that was all it. Yeah, it's redacted now. Yeah, I know, Jan, I should have snuck in there. Oh, you're welcome, Kevin. You're so welcome. But yeah, I kind of wanted to sneak in, but I probably would have been bad. I probably would have got caught. I don't know if you guys were around during the Jared Lasik thing, but a creator was in there and they weren't supposed to be live streaming it. And they were in there and they had their headphones or something on. So their mic was on and like everybody heard them asking like for everyone to like the video and like welcoming people in. So I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, oh, were we in trouble? Watching a reaction videos to a new song that came out. I watch the most random things when I'm on YouTube. You guys would be surprised, I swear. I surprise myself sometimes. So basically, like what I said earlier, we're going to go back, in time to November 13th, and we're going to go over what was released and what was and like what they say compared to what we kind of know that's true now. So on tonight's live, we're going to cover the first few days after. First few days, after the homicides into the investigation part of it. So what we'll do is kind of like a day by day. I have some press releases to share, Twitter post, and we'll review the press conference that Moscow PD put out on November 16th, because that was the first time they came out with a press release. And we'll watch a documentary from the first week of the investigation. So, and I found this documentary today, and it was really good. So I thought it would be good to like finish the live off with that. I got my notes over here. So let me see if I can pull them up a little bit better. Also, as I'm looking for my notes, drop any questions below that you have. If you want me to look up anything over, the time frame that we're covering, I can look up anything you guys want me to look up. So just let me know. So we're going to start on the 13th. And basically, I think, let me see where I want to start. We'll start over here, actually. So I'm going to share this here. I can present it to you guys. Maybe. Okay. So I'm just going to read through these and kind of go through them. Let me share this tab with you, the right one. There we go. So I just got these. This is all like stuff that I got out of the first like news releases that were coming out, like the vandal alerts. So that's where I got all of this information. So the initial post at 2:10 p.m., it said a homicide is being investigated by the Moscow Police Department at 1122 King Road. No suspects are known at this time. I'll put my glasses on. And you guys can hear me okay, right? Because I'm in full screen, so I can't really see the StreamYard. And welcome in, everybody. Welcome on in, guys. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. So this was, and this is on the 13th, so November 13th. The and Moscow Police Department received a call at 11:58 a.m. reporting the homicide, according to Campus Division Captain Tyson Barrett. Barrett said roommates and individuals in the area are currently being interviewed. A vandal alert sent around 1 p.m. recommends sheltering in place and avoiding the area. King Road is near campus, branching off Taylor Avenue and located behind the Sigma Chi fraternity. For those who may have information, the MPD can be reached at, and it gives you the number, the University of Idaho. Idaho's Safe Walk program can be reached at, and it gives you the number for those who may need an escort on campus. So that's the first thing that was kind of like out about that. At 2:45, they had an update. As of 2:40 p.m., UI has lifted recommendations to shelter in place. The MPD does not believe there is an active threat, but a vandal alert reminds individuals to remain vigilant. Oh, Summer will be here in a minute. If she's not here yet, she says she's just getting off work. She's probably listening. She's probably laughing now. She's like, I just got off work. I can't believe she's worked this late. I was like, oh my lordy. Update at 3:25 p.m. Tyson Barrett, captain at the Moscow Police Department, said officers first responded to a report of an unconscious person in an apartment building on King Road. After officers arrived, the case quickly turned into a homicide investigation. Detectives at the department have been called in to investigate the crime scene, according to Barrett. Officers are canvassing the neighborhood to find potential witnesses or any information that could help the case. Barrett said police are still looking for a suspect. So this is like, the day of at 3:25 p.m. So just a few hours after the police got there, a couple hours after. And then they did another update at 5:30 p.m. 4 individuals have been confirmed dead in Moscow. Police Department homicide investigation on King Road. Police originally responded to a call about an unconscious individual. When they arrived, officers discovered 4 bodies. The investigation is ongoing, with police withholding information until family and friends are notified. Those with any information, and it gives the contact information for the Moscow Police Department. And then at 8:40, it says the 4 victims are confirmed to be students, MPD Captain Tyson Barrett told the Statesman. The Argonaut has been unable to reach MPD for an update at this time. And so that's where I was getting at the school paper. I think that was the end of that. Yeah. So yeah, that was just like a little bit of a timeline I wanted to put together for you guys to kind of start us off here. I don't know why that was like playing, but okay. And these are going to be the first, the first vandal alerts that went out that I'm going to show you guys next. Welcome in, everybody. Well, let me see what your question was. Do you think they knew the person was no longer around when they lifted the shelter in place? Oh, that's a good question, Jan. I don't know. They seemed really positive that this was like a one and done deal, like they were like, nobody else is like in danger. I think that they kind of lifted it pretty quickly, I thought, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe. I wonder, well, no, I don't know, because when we watched this video that I have, this documentary that I found, I think this was on the 19th it came out, 18th or 19th. And they're filming, and I don't know what day actually they're filming on, but it's, right after the homicides. And you can actually see where they still have the light bulb camera on the house beside the King Road residence. And they took that light bulb camera pretty quickly. I just happened to pause it because I was looking at something and I paused it right at the right time. So I don't know. Donald said they seemed like they were looking for the suspect. They seemed pretty specific considering what they had just discovered. Yeah. That is a little odd. It's actually a lot of odd. And I'm actually surprised that there weren't more postings underneath of these. But you can even tell, like, somebody back here was November 14th was asking if it was a fentanyl overdose. Let me see if I can kind of make this a little bigger for you. I don't know if I can on. Oh, yep, I can. It says University of Idaho vandal alert, and this was at 5:07. Moscow PD is investigating a homicide on King Road near campus. Suspect not known at this time. Stay away from the area and shelter in place. And then the next one to come out was this one here. And it came out at 5:46 p.m. Vandal alert. Investigation continues. Suspect unknown. MPD does not believe there is an active threat. Shelter in place lifted. Remain vigilant. It's pretty quick. If the cops weren't called until 11:58, and then when was it? Because Kathy Mabbitt didn't even get there. We'll listen to her. We're going to listen to her interview tonight. I believe she got there like 4 or 5. So for her to go in, assess the victims, say these girls and this boy was stabbed, or and then for them just to lift it up. I don't know. But see the person that wrote underneath here, November 14th, 4 people are dead with no arrest and there's no active threat. That's a good question. It's a really good question. Yeah, I'm wondering why they did lift that so fast. Yeah, it's very odd they lifted it so quickly. Hey, Lori. She didn't remember to like. Let's see here. I wanted to share this with you. I'm just going to read through this and then I'll play this short little video if I can rewind it. Okay. It says Moscow, and this is from the 13th, November 13th. Moscow Police Department is investigating a homicide that happened near the University of Idaho, which killed 4 people, all identified as University of Idaho students. Police are investigating the homicide on King Road near the campus. Police got the call of an unconscious person in the area. When officers arrived, they found 4 dead people. An alert was sent to students saying to shelter in place and avoid the area. It has since been lifted. MPD says they don't believe there's an active threat to the community. The University of Idaho has canceled all classes on Monday, November 14th to honor the student victims. In a tweet, the university confirmed families of the students have been notified and that they offered resources to students and staff who may be impacted by the event. And it says they say the suspect is unknown at this time. Anyone with information is asked to contact Moscow Police Department. This is an ongoing investigation. Where did I had that? Oh, it's right here. Okay, yeah, I'll wait. And then I'll play that here in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll just play this. It's only 36 seconds. It just kind of ties everything in for the day of the 13th.
Following breaking news out of North Idaho, the Moscow Police Department says 4 are dead near the University of Idaho. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Bloom. Police responded to a call for an unconscious person and police found 4 dead when they arrived. An alert was sent to U of I telling students to stay away from the area and to shelter in place, and it has since been lifted. It happened on King Road, just south of campus. Police are asking if you have any information to call the department. We have a crew headed there right now, and we will bring you updates tonight.
Okay. I just wanted to play that little snippet of a video for you. Let me get myself back up here. There we go. Hello, everybody. And welcome in. You think they have me, myself, and I said a question. Do you think they have a witness neighbor or something that we won't know until trial? They definitely could. You never know. I mean, they had the neighbor, Jeremy, that was, and then he was just a neighbor and he was kind of thrown into the investigation. There might've been somebody kind of like him that might've been just out on their front porch, back porch that night, especially all those apartments that are lined up right beside the King Road residence. There's 200 units right there. It would be very easy for somebody to be outside, maybe smoking a cigarette or having a party of some sort, and they have some people outside, drinking some beers. I know they said it was a relatively quiet evening because of, on most nights, it's a lot louder. And I believe that was because there was a day game. And so a lot of people were already drunk earlier in the night. So they went to bed and that's why it was so quiet. But I still think people were still out partying and all that stuff, and doing all that. So Welcome in, everybody. I see a lot of people coming in. That's awesome. So, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Let me see here. Vincent was so nice last night and got me a new monitor. So I have like I've got like too many screens. I've got too many now, but it's really nice. It's really, really nice. It's going to help. So I didn't, let me read the press releases now. So we'll move on to this. So this is the website. If you guys don't remember this website, this was the website that came out right after the homicides occurred. Moscow police put together this website. So when you go to like their public website, you can go to the King Road homicide section, and it takes you and it gives you all the information that you need from the Moscow's, police department's point of view, because like they only had the case until Kohlberger was arrested, and then it went up to a higher court. And so then after that, when it went to the higher court, that's when it went to the the state of Idaho. State of Idaho site. So this was the first site that they came up with, and I've never seen anything like this. I haven't been in true crime an extremely long time, but I've been in true crime long enough to where I've never seen a police department put, a whole page together for someone to have all the resources, which I commend them for. I'm going to say that's really nice. So at the top, it just has the crime tips. Basically what we're going to go through is just like each day they did like a news release, and we're going to go through those. And of course, these are not in order, which I love that. Okay. So we'll start with this one. And let me remove that. And welcome in, everybody. Really? We're not going to have no video, Diana? Who said that? I thought that we would have video of it. Are they saying that they're not going to? That's weird. Because we've always had. So we just can't stream Zoom. But they should be videotaping it and then releasing it later that evening, I would say. Just the Zoom part, though. Unless you guys heard something different. Let me know. Yeah, okay. So the new document, it's basically just saying that the court this is for like the victims' families and for Brian Kohlberger's family, so that they can join via Zoom. We just can't stream it live, because that's why they redacted the meeting ID and the passcode. So what they've been doing is they've just been videotaping it and then releasing it later that evening. Yeah, no, that's the latest filing. That's for the families. Does that make sense? That's not for us. This is for the family. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's okay. So, okay. I know what you're saying. No, that's not what it means. Okay. It means that you cannot live stream inside of the courtroom, like with your phone or whatever. They have a set person that is videotaping. They have one for video, one for still shot photography, and then they'll have one eventually probably for movement or something. So no, this is just for the Zoom. So no, we'll get the video. Yeah. I think Law and Crime, Lori, I think you're right. I think Law and Crime has it. What will happen is we just won't get it until later that evening. So basically, we'll get it like around like, I don't know, later, like 3 hours later. Yeah, there's no other documents. This is the only new one. And then last night, the document I went over was brand new too. Even if they're not dated. So it was dated the 11th, and yesterday's date was what, the 14th. It still was signed on the 14th. So, and so that's what that means. It just means like that they can't record. Okay, so like, say I'm watching, like say I'm Steve Gonzalez, right? And I'm watching it through Zoom. I can't take out my phone and start recording the proceedings on my phone. That's what that kind of means. So I'm glad you guys brought that up so I could tell you. No, I'm glad you guys brought it up so I could be more like, so I could tell you guys better, because that helps me. Because sometimes I don't think to do that. So I'm glad you guys brought it up, because I was like, oh, holy no. Because if they were going to zip the court proceedings, then they probably wouldn't let us go back to having them recorded again. That's why I was like, oh no, don't give me a heart attack. I can't deal, But yeah, no, so we'll get it. I promise. We better. Or I'll be acting out the court proceedings for you guys on video. So this will so we're gonna go over here and read these really quick. Press releases. So this one came out the November 13th, 2022. And it says City of Moscow homicide victims. Moscow, Idaho, on November 13th, 2022 at 11:58 hours. Moscow Police Department officers responded to a call on King Road for an unconscious individual. Upon arrival, officers discovered 4 individuals who were deceased. These individuals have been identified as Ethan Chapin, 20, Conway, Washington; Madison Mogan, 21, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho; Xander Kernodle, 20, Avondale, Arizona; and Kayla Gonzalez, 21, Rathdrum, Idaho. All 4 victims were students at the University of Idaho. Please respect the privacy of the victims' families, friends, and loved ones as the Moscow Police Department investigates this tragic event. The Moscow Police Department and the City of Moscow is deeply saddened for the families of these individuals, fellow students, and friends in our community during this time. Our heartfelt sympathies go out to each and every person affected by this incident. Details are limited in this investigation. Currently, there is no one in custody. Investigators are asking anyone with information related to this incident to contact the Moscow Police. The Moscow Police does not believe there is an ongoing community risk based on information gathered during the preliminary investigation. Wonder what that means. Like, okay, so when they went and then they investigated, like, when they first got to the scene, based on whatever they saw at the scene, the interviews that they conducted at the scene, that's what they're basing. And they're saying, okay, whatever they saw there and whatever the witnesses told them there that day, they were like, okay, this guy's not going to do it again. He targeted these people specifically. It almost makes me feel like there was something in that house that confirms without like a shadow of a doubt that it was for them. We thought I thought another creator, we were talking and we were just like spitballing, and we're not into conspiracies at all. We're really not. Me and the creator I'm talking about, we usually don't go down the rabbit holes, but we thought, what if there was something written on a wall or something? But the only thing with that is the time doesn't really give you enough time to do something like that. I just don't know. I'm glad that's why I love going back through and reading things. Cause then, we have a different mindset than we did before. When I read this 9 months ago, I haven't read this since it first came out, we probably talked about it, but I don't even remember what I would have said. Probably was going off about that, actually. That's probably what I was doing. Let me find the next one here. If there's any more, I don't know if there's any more on the 13th. I don't want to miss any though. Nope. Okay. So on the 14th, that's when the victims were identified. And they put this, the University of Idaho at 4:48 p.m. on the 14th. They put this on their Twitter. And it says 4 students killed in alleged homicide identified. I don't know why it says alleged. Maybe that was the school distancing themselves. I don't know. But this is what they ended up putting out for them. And this is from the school, and they canceled class at University of Idaho that Monday. They didn't cancel classes anywhere else, not Washington State, nowhere else, just Idaho. But it says here, classes canceled to honor student victims. It is with deep sadness that I share with you that the university was notified today of the death of 4 University of Idaho students living off campus, believed to be the victims of homicide. Out of respect for these fellow vandals, classes statewide and online are canceled Monday, November 14th. All campuses remain open. Classes will resume Tuesday, November 15th. The Moscow Police Department is investigating, and the families of these students have been notified. We continue to actively aid law enforcement efforts. MPD does not believe there is an active threat. We are grateful for the support of the community and the ongoing efforts of the police department. The university is committed to supporting students and families during this difficult time. Students impacted have support options available. Students can reach out to the Counseling and Testing Center on the 3rd floor of Mary Fornery Hall or call, and it gives you the number for support. Press option 3 for immediate support in the evenings and on weekends. Students can visit the 4th floor of the ISUB from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow, Monday, for immediate drop-in counseling support. Students can also visit the Dean of Students office in TLC 232 should you require assistance. Employees needing assistance should use the free and confidential EAP resource available through your benefits. Watch your email Monday for details about additional support resources. An event of this magnitude can understandably have significant impacts on those left behind. As vandals, we must come together and lift each other up. If you are worried about a student or employee and are unsure of what to do, please file a vandal care report. More details will be released as they come available. If you have any information about this crime, call Moscow Police. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families of our students as the vandal family mourns their loss. Scott Green, President. I'm trying to see, okay. Just making sure we weren't missing anything there. So this is the 14th. I'm going to go back over to back over to this and back over to Moscow Police Department, website, and see if we can find some people. Oh, thank you, Summer, for gifted memberships. I saw you come in. I was getting ready to say hi to you. Thank you. That's so nice. Look at that. Welcome, guys. Welcome on in. Welcome in. Thank you, Summer. She is. Summer is very, very generous. All of you guys are. 14th. Let's see. We had a couple come out on the 14th, so it doesn't really say which, in which order they come in. So we'll just read them as we kind of go through them. I love that. Summer is the best, Frenchie. You're right. I don't know how I say the mayor's last name. I guess Bettage, but Bettage. That's how we're going to say it. Mayor Bettage expresses condolences to the community. And I don't know if you guys remember him, but he was a character. Let me grab my drink real quick, guys. He was saying one thing and the police department was saying another thing. It just wasn't working for them. Welcome in, everybody. Oh, Glow Buggy, change your picture. Oh, look how cute your cat is. Oh, your cat's cute. My cat's been acting extra cute lately. I think he knows that you guys gave him, one of you guys gave him some cat treat money, and he was like, he's all about it now. Hi, Ida. Welcome in. Hi, everybody. Welcome on in, everyone. Let me make this a little bigger so we can all see it. It says here, I am deeply saddened by the events that occurred on November 13th, which claimed the lives of 4 of our community members. It is impossible to understand the senselessness of events like this, and we are all seeking answers that are not yet available. Our hearts and thoughts are not only with the victims and their families, but also their broader circle of friends and the entire University of Idaho community. I am thankful to all of our first responders and their skilled and dedicated service to our community. The Moscow Police Department is actively working with support from multiple other agencies to investigate this incident. At this time, there's only limited information that can be shared without jeopardizing the integrity of the investigation. This tragedy serves as a sobering reminder that senseless acts of violence can occur anywhere at any time. And we are not immune from such events here in our own community. Today, we grieve for those who lost and those who they leave behind. Let us come together in support of each other and be there for each other as we mourn as a community. And then it just says press releases are located on the City of Moscow website. So that was from the mayor. He came out with an interview. I wonder if I could find that. They probably pulled that off the internet. It wasn't a very good one. I'm going to have to see if I can find that when we're watching something else. And then the next one was just this update. It's just a basic update, contact information. You know, anybody have any information, please call us. We don't know who did this. Kind of a thing. Now, I think that was all on the 14th. Yep. So let me close some of this stuff out. It'll make it a lot easier. Okay, so then on the 15th, we got just update and a press release, just kind of like the ones I've been showing you. So let me pull it up. We got a couple, it looks like, so. And I swear this is going to sound redundant. When I start to read these, I feel like, really, Sergeant? I was going to ask who the mayor was, who writes for the mayor, if he wrote that himself, because it didn't sound very, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it could have been written a little better, I thought. Oh, Sandy, that's cute. The thumbs up and kindness are both free. Please hit that thumbs up. That's so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. It really does help helps the video go into the algorithm, and then more people come in and they chat with y'all. And it helps me too. So here on it says November 13th, 2022 at 11:58 hours, Moscow Police Department officers responded to a call on King Road for an unconscious individual. Upon arrival, officers discovered 4 individuals who were deceased. The deaths have been ruled to be homicide. Although no weapons have been located, based on preliminary information, investigators believe an edged weapon such as a knife was used. Autopsies are scheduled to be completed later this week and will hopefully provide more definitive information on the exact cause of the deaths. Also, based on information from the preliminary investigation, investigators believe this was an isolated, targeted attack and there is no imminent threat to the community at large. So this is like 2 days after they're already saying there's no intimate threat to the community, but they don't have anybody like a suspect in custody at the same time. Investigators are continuing to work diligently on establishing a timeline of relevant events to recreate the victims' activities on the evening of November 12th and early morning of November 13th, following all leads and identifying persons of interest. Currently, there are no suspects in custody. The Moscow Police Department is working closely with the Idaho State Police as well as other state and federal law enforcement partners on this case. Investigators are seeking anyone with information on this incident to contact the Moscow Police Department. And that was the 15th, right? Yep. Let's see. I think there was one more. Yeah, there was on the 15th. it says here that the City of Moscow Police Department would like to address community concerns about public safety. We hear you and we understand your fears. We want you to know that we, like you, have been devastated and distressed by these young lives that were cut short needlessly. We determined early in the investigation that we do not believe there is an ongoing threat for community members. Evidence indicates that this was a targeted attack. Does anybody know what the evidence was that indicated that that was a targeted attack? Because I'm trying to run through the PCA right now in my head, and I don't. And it's not, there's nothing in there that says that. I love reading back through these. At this time, we have shared every piece of information that we can without compromising the ongoing investigation. First and foremost, we continue to steadfastly committed to, first and foremost, we continue to be steadfastly committed to ensuring the safety of our community. We want answers and deeply desire to see this case solved thoroughly and quickly and to bring justice for Ethan, Madison, Zana, and Kaylee and their families. We owe it to them, their families, and this community to all that we can do and do it well. We are working closely with the Idaho State Police investigators and the Latah County Prosecutor's Office. So at this time, 2 days later, not even really 2 days, but 2 days later, they had the Idaho State Police were already in there helping the Moscow Police Department. And it says, we are utilizing many other resources within the law enforcement community to bring about a fast resolve to this incident. As soon as we have more information that we are able to share with the community, state, and nation, we will. This incident highlighted that violence is possible in our community and in every community. Until this case is completely resolved, we ask the community to continue to be vigilant, alert, report suspicious activity, and help us to be the eyes and ears in our community. The Moscow Police Department thanks everyone for their continued support, for their understanding, for the limited information we are able to share, and for their patience during this difficult time. We hope to have more information tomorrow. And they did. They had a press conference. But I don't understand why they're saying in one breath, there's no threat. But then in the second breath, they're saying, be vigilant, be alert, report suspicious activity. I don't know. Very strange. Very, very strange. Okay. Okay. I could see someone passing out. I could definitely see that as being an option. And we actually went over that on one of our lives. And it was a long time ago. We went over that. One of the first few days. Where I live, you dial 911, you get fire, police, EMT. It's like that in small towns. The Harley Rider, that's true. They're all coming too. It's a small town. All 6 cops are coming. Because a lot of times at small towns, there's not a lot going on. So they all just come in. They're coming for it. Yeah, totality of evidence suggesting it's targeting. Yeah, legendary. I'm curious to know why they said it like that. Okay, let me get myself back down to the bottom of the chat. I was in the middle there. Let's see here. I'm going to get a shirt that says that sometime. I say that all the time. It's going to be my new thing. Okay, so we were going over the 15th. I think that was both of them on the 15th. So we're going to move it on. They don't have these in order, which is so weird. So we're on the 15th. We're going to go to the 16th. There's only one thing, I believe, because they did a press conference this day. So it just says the City of Moscow Police Department will be holding a press conference today, November 16th at 3:30 regarding the city's recent homicide. This press conference may be live streamed on YouTube utilizing the following link. See how it says like it may be live streamed there? So like that's the difference there. And we'll play the press conference here in a minute. It's like 30 minutes long, but it's their first one. So we'll play the Kathy Mabbitt interview that she did. If you're not sure who Kathy Mabbitt is, she's the Latah County coroner. The coroner and the person who conducts like the actual autopsies, they were two different people. The person that did the autopsies was in Spokane, and she's from Latah County. She's like kind of voted into the position. So she came out and she spoke, and she spoke. She spoke like I don't know if she was just ready to speak or what, but she was ready to, she was ready. She was ready to talk about it. So I'm going to play that. If you guys don't know or if you guys haven't seen this, it's something else. And actually, this was on the 15th that she came out with this, not on the 16th. I'm sorry. I was a day off. So she came out with her interview on the 15th. Share this here. And we'll play this.
Kathy, with a C, Mabbitt, Mabbutt.
And it is kind of low. It's up all the way, though.
I've been doing it for 16 years, and I just got reelected for another 4.
So what is it that, or I guess, when did you get the call on Sunday?
I got the call just a few minutes after noon that there were 4 homicides, but I didn't go to the scene because of law enforcement doing their investigation first. So I didn't actually go to the scene until about 5 or 5:30.
Can you walk us through, like, for our viewers, kind of the process between when police show up and then you guys getting the bodies and doing your examinations?
Sure. Well, law enforcement goes through and looks for any evidence, takes videos and pictures of everything in there, and they'll start talking with people. So I don't really need to be there for that. They can't move the bodies. I mean, the bodies have to stay as they were until the coroner gets there. So that's what my job is, to
And
look at
then
the bodies.
As a coroner, do you guys do the autopsies and all that?
No, we some do if they're an actual medical examiner, but we have forensic pathologists and we contract with Spokane to do that.
So in your experience, what is it that you saw when you showed up?
Well, there was a lot of blood. It was a very sad scene with 4 murdered college students.
You're ruling all 4 deaths homicides?
Yes.
And can you give us a manner of death?
I believe that the press release was that they were from a sharp object. So
stabbings.
Yeah, I will know more after the autopsies tomorrow.
I just noticed that. She said, hold on a second. Let me see what she just said. She just said something funny there. Hold on.
We'll know more after the autopsies tomorrow. We'll know more after. So I believe that the press release was that they were from a.
Okay. So she's saying they're asking about the wounds, and she's saying, according to the press release or from the press release, they were the one that we just read. The injuries were caused by an edged weapon. But if she's the coroner, she should be able to state that as her own fact. Isn't that crazy? Like she's kind of like, well, according to what the press release is saying, this is what I'm supposed to say. Does that make sense? I was gonna see if I could find that press release. Okay, so right here, it says, Although no weapons have been located based on preliminary information, investigators believe that an edged weapon such as a knife was used. And this is the press release that she's referring to. It's kind of weird that she's like, yeah. Zero confidence from anyone, right, Lo? There's no confidence here. I feel like the confidence level is down. But I'm noticing a lot more than I did before. So I'll go back over to her. And then she said that she didn't arrive till like 5 o'clock. And then for them to have that vandal alert lifted, like go about your business at 5:47, just very fast.
Sharp object. So
stabbings.
yeah, we'll know more after the autopsies tomorrow.
And do you believe this could be like a murder suicide or?
No, there are 4 homicides.
4 homicides. Okay. And when it comes to doing the investigation post autopsy, that falls on you, correct?
Yes, it's my job to determine the manner and mechanism of death.
And then I know with toxicology results, there can often be, at least in Washington, a delay. So do you have any idea how long it could take, if those were relevant, to get any type of results back on that?
Well, the toxicology reports, right, they usually take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer. But they might, I don't think they're going to be relevant in the actual manner or cause of death.
And do we know how long between the time of death and when police found them, approximately?
No, I don't know for sure.
Do we have like any, like, could it have been hours? Could it have been a day? Was it maybe close? Like, is there any sort of like time frame there?
Not that I'm aware of.
And you said the scene was really difficult. I mean, is this something you've had to deal with before in Moscow?
Since I've been coroner, there have been at least 2 other multiple homicide scenes that I've been involved in. So
Would you say this is probably the most gruesome?
no, it's hard to just single it out. It's the only one I've been to where there have been 4 people at one scene. There have been the other ones have had multiple scenes.
And was anybody else injured, like any non-deceased people?
Not that I'm aware of, but I wouldn't necessarily be notified either.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like because the injuries could be similar to matter to you.
Oh,
But
right.
no. Okay.
Were the deceased all in close proximity to each other, or were they in different rooms?
I don't know that I can discuss that.
That was gonna be my next question too. So I think, yeah.
Will we be able to get a copy of your report once it's completed? I'm sure it'll be.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just call.
Yes.
Thank you. Do you know what the time frame for that would be?
It just depends on how relevant the toxicology report is, but
Oh, okay. Okay,
So-
so it was like the 4 to 6 weeks.
it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Okay, let me pause that really quick because there was another thing I wanted to show you before I showed you the press conference. But I can always show you after the press conference. It's not a big deal. Oh, here it is. Look at that. Wow, that was fast. Okay, so this came out on the 17th, but I'm going to show it to you guys now because it kind of goes in line with what Kathy Mabbitt was saying. Let me turn on my camera here so you guys can see my pretty face. I know you guys don't come here to look at my avatar, or it's actually really me. So it's not an avatar, but it's, you know what I mean. But it says here for immediate release, Kathy Mabbitt, RN, BS, JD, Latah County Coroner. Date of release 11/17/2022. Date of pronounced death 11/13/2022 at 12 noon. I beg to differ with that one a little bit, I think, because if the 911 call wasn't made till 11:58, how can they possibly and within 2 minutes have a time of death. I've never looked at this paper before. I've never seen this paper actually until today. I maybe we did once, probably in the beginning of the case, but to me that's a little weird. Like, I know they get they don't like they do get date, like the time of death wrong a lot. Like my poor mother, I mean, they did it with her. Like, she was deceased like 15 minutes before the doctor like came in and kind of called it. But this is different. This is 2 minutes. You called at 11:58, and by 12 o'clock they're saying that and they called for an unconscious person. Oh, time of death and pronounced. Oh, okay. But I mean, did they get there like that fast? I don't know. Maybe they just did roughly. I shouldn't probably pick it apart, but and then these are just everyone's names. Ethan Chapin, 20 years old, male, Conway, Washington. Kaylee Gonzalez, 21, female, Rathdrum, Idaho. Xander Kernodle, 20, female, Avondale, Arizona. Madison Mogan, 21, female, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Place of pronounced death, 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho. Cause of death, homicide, murder. Manner of death, stabbing. Kathy Mabbitt, Latah County Coroner. So now we'll go over and we'll play the press conference here. This is a little long, and then I have like a little thing that's going to wrap it all up. So I'm not going to interrupt. I'm going to try not to interrupt the press conference too much, but yeah, you need to get there fast. If it's unconscious, call. Yeah. Because I think that's what they have to put it into their system anyway, because I don't think they can. I don't know. I think that they would always put that under there. I know people that work like EMS and do all that kind of stuff. I know officers. I need to get a hold of them. I just need to post it on my Facebook or something, like a community, like on my social, like, what do you all do if something comes, like if a call comes in, and it's saying like they're saying that they're deceased. Do you still put that under under deceased, or do you put it under unconscious, or how does that, come about? So, because I'm curious. There's a little gnat in my face. I can see it. Okay. If you guys wouldn't mind, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. This is going to be the first press conference that they had. They had this one on the 16th of November. This is the first time hearing from Chief Frye. If you guys don't mind just taking a second to hit the like button, helps you out. And if you guys need me to put the closed captions or anything on, just let me know and I can do that for you guys.
That is why we're here. I'd like to thank everyone for attending this press conference. Joining me today is the Latah County Prosecutor, Bill Thompson, University of Idaho President, Scott Green, Provost and Vice President, Tori Lawrence, University of Idaho Dean of Students, Blaine Eccles, Latah County Sheriff, Richie Skiles, Chief Deputy of Latah County, Tim Best, Idaho State Police Colonel, Kedrick Wills. The Moscow Police Department would like to extend our condolences to all family members, friends, the University of Idaho, and the Moscow community. This was a horrible crime that took the lives of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves. This horrible crime has affected all of us, the families, the University of Idaho, our community, our country, and our officers. Agencies that are involved in this task force include Latah County Sheriff's Office, the Idaho State Police, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations. As we continue our investigation, we have learned that Ethan and Xana were at a party on campus, and Madison and Kaylee were at a downtown bar. They arrived home sometime after 1:45. If anyone in our community or across our nation has any information about these times or the victims' whereabouts, please call our tip line at 208-883-7180. The facts of the case that we know right now. We know that these homicides occurred in the early morning hours of Sunday, November 13th. Around noon, Moscow officers received a call of an unconscious person. Officers discovered the bodies of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves inside the residence on King Road. The four were stabbed with a knife, but no weapon has been located at this time. There was no sign of forced entry into the residence. Investigators are continuing to collect evidence at the scene. Investigators are working to develop a timeline to relevant events. Autopsies are taking place today on all the victims so we can continue to gather evidence and solve the crime. Investigators are working to follow up on all leads and to identify a person of interest. Based on details at the scene, we believe this was an isolated, targeted attack on our victims. We do not have a suspect at this time, and that individual is still out there. We cannot say that there's no threat to the community, and as we have stated, please stay vigilant, report any suspicious activity, and be aware of your surroundings at all times. What we don't know, the identity and location of the suspect, the location of the knife or any clothing that was worn by the suspect. Currently, we have 25 plus investigators working this case, as well as assistance from the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Idaho State Police. We're reviewing video that has been collected, but we are asking citizens to contact us with any information you may have that will help in this investigation. Once again, we're asking anyone with a tip to call the tip line at 208-883-7180. At this time, I would like to introduce the University of Idaho President, Scott Green.
Thank you, Chief Frye. I'm Scott Green, President of the University of Idaho, and with me is Tori Lawrence. He's our Provost, and Blaine Eccles, our Dean of Students, will be available for questions after all of the statements are made. The crime, to us, this crime and the loss of these young lives is just simply beyond comprehension. While our small community is certainly not immune to such things, it's not a situation our close-knit campus is used to dealing with. First, my deepest condolences to the families. And friends of Ethan, Kaylee, Xana, and Madison. Excuse me. Their loss has been devastating, and they were bright lights in our community and are deeply missed and remain in our thoughts and our prayers. We've been working with Moscow Police since we were notified on Sunday of the crime. We've helped when asked and continually pushed for information whenever possible, knowing that we cannot interfere with the important work and good investigations that are occurring. We just want justice for these victims. Our focus at the university is to support our students and our employees. We are encouraging students and employees to take care of themselves as we head into Thanksgiving break. I want to take a moment to commend our faculty and staff who have been on the front lines helping our students, whether that is providing counseling to those in need of support, accommodating those who want to travel home, or engaging those who find comfort in staying busy interacting with their peers and our instructors in class. Our employees stepped up when our students needed them. While we have relied heavily on the expertise of Moscow Police, we feel confident that remaining open with flexibility to leave allows our students to decide what is best for them. The weeks ahead will continue to challenge us as this loss and the circumstances around this crime become known. We will support each other as we grieve, and we'll move through this together as a Vandal family. Thank you.
I would like to have Colonel Kedrick Wills come to the podium, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Kedrick Wills. I serve as the director of the Idaho State Police. And as we have this discussion today, I'd like to express my appreciation for your attendance here, because it's important, vitally important, that we get the information that we have out to the public. Crime knows no boundaries, and these murders have shaken us to our very core. You heard the university president as well as the chief of police talk about this small community, and it's a very close, tight-knit community. And our hearts break for the families that lost their loved ones, the University of Idaho, the Moscow community, and even within our entire state. Be assured, the Idaho State Police is firmly in support of the work that the Moscow Police Department is doing, and we are providing every resource that we can to make sure that this comes to a conclusion, and the person or people that this are responsible are brought to justice. It's so important that you understand that this takes a team effort. This is teamwork with the university, with this Moscow City Police Department, the Latah County Sheriff's Office, the Idaho State Police, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. It takes everybody to be able to do this. And it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act of getting the community the information that they need to have, with making sure that we provide a case that the Latah County Prosecutor's Office can go forward with. Governor Little, Idaho's governor, has assured me that the full weight of all the resources we have within our state are available to Chief Frye and to his team. Our crime lab is also involved with processing evidence, and our law enforcement throughout the region, state and federal agencies continue to provide resources. From the Idaho State Police's perspective, we provided detectives here from this area, as well as detectives from out of the area, state police detectives, as well as patrol resources and communications assistance as well, to provide for Chief Frye and his team. Following this briefing, our communications director from the Idaho State Police, Aaron Snell, if you'd raise your hand, Aaron, he will be the contact for all press media inquiries from here on out. He'll be working closely with Chief Frye and his team. And we have additional, like I said, additional patrol and investigation resources brought to bear here as well. We want to do everything we can to make sure that this is done correctly, and that the people that are responsible for this are brought to justice.
So at this time, I'm going to open it up to some questions that I'm sure you have, and we'll do the best we can to answer those for you.
Hello, Chief Frye.
Hello.
Thank you for having us. I'm Amanda Rowley with Creme 2 News. You mentioned that there's an indication that it's an isolated, targeted incident, and there is an individual somewhere. Can you give us a reason as to why there's that belief there is a suspect? And can you also give a little more information on the forced entry? There's no sign of forced entry, but was the door, did it seem like any of the entries were left unlocked by any means?
I'll answer the last part there just because it's at the front end of my mind. We're not 100% sure if the door was unlocked, but there was no damage to anything, and the door was still open when we got there.
And my first.
Okay, so which door was still open? Because he said, because everyone has been saying that Chief Frye said that the slider back door was open, but he didn't say that. He just said that the door was still left open. And we know from a neighbor that talked to Fox News that the front door was left open. So you think the front door too, Frenchie? Me too. I'm really listening for that door. I swear. I'm on that front door stuff. You know me. Oh, Summer, thank you for gifting 5 more memberships. Summer's gift happy today, and I love it. Make sure you guys have your memberships turned on. Oh, look at that. Ida got one in Harlow, St. Louis Blues, Low. Oh, awesome. And Lindsay, look at that. Hey, Parker, how you doing? You think the front door too, Alicia? I'm really thinking that that's what they're probably talking about too.
First question,
Yeah.
if you'd like me to read.
No, I think I haven't. In these cases, we take the totality of the things that we see, and they're very dynamic, right? And they're very big, and there's a lot of information, and we try to take that information, and some of it we can't share with you, correct? But we try to take that information. We try to make the best educated decision we can. We review that as a team with our detectives, along with our prosecutors, along with the university, and we try to make that best decision on that. So we, at that time, believe that there was no a threat, and our goal is to provide safety for this community. That's why we're bringing in the resources we're bringing. We want a close to this, and we want to do everything we can to let the people in our community know that we care. We want them to feel safe. We want them to be safe. And we're going to do everything we can to do that.
If I could add one more question. You asked for videos or anything from the community to help put together that timeline. We obtained a copy of Twitch video, and family members of the Gonsalves family were able to identify Maddie and Kaylee in those videos at a food truck ordering food. Is the police department, our investigators, aware of that video, and has it helped put together that timeline?
We are aware of that video, and it has helped. It gives us a time and space where we know that two of our victims were, and that helps us a ton, and we'll continue to follow up all leads that we can and continue to gather those.
Any indication of a party at the home that night?
And this will be the last one. Okay, I understand. Not that we know of, not at the home. We know that the other, let me get the names exactly right here. We know that Zaina and Ethan were at a different party on campus. But that timeline will still help us if other people know about that.
Thank you.
Chief Frye, John Webb with KHQ. On September 12th, there was a vandal alert that was sent out about a potential stabbing threat on Paradise Path. Does this have any connection with what we've seen so far?
Not that we know of it, but we're following up every lead. Every piece of information we get, we are following up to ensure that nothing has gone unturned. We want to have the individual identified, who is the suspect of this eventually. So we are literally looking into every aspect of everything.
And you guys have said repeatedly that there's no threat to the public, but we don't know who the suspect is. We don't know where he's at. How is there no threat to the public at this point?
Well, that's kind of an unknown. Like I said, we took the information that we had at the time, but we do need to be aware the individual is still out there, right? We need to be vigilant. We need to watch out for our neighbors. We're a community policing community. We've said that for years, and it's a community that watches out for each other. We need to continue to do that until we can close this off and make an arrest.
Why has there been such limited information over the past couple of days? I mean, we're almost 4 days into this. Why has it been so limited?
Yeah, it's a difficult.
I didn't realize it was him asking the questions. Remember? Do you remember him? I don't care who you are, you guys. This guy looks like he just stepped off of the cover of GQ. He's got his makeup done. His spray tan is right. He was born for this moment. He's been waiting for this moment his whole life, his whole career life. I forgot about him. Oh my gosh. I forgot about him. There was a couple. And then remember, and we'll see the lady. Remember the lady that snuck in? She says she was a student reporter. She's like 40 or 50 years old. It's like, you're not a student reporter. But no one was going to dare ask her if she was, or if she wasn't. Like, they weren't going to ask her age. But I didn't realize it was him asking the questions until I saw in the chat that he was cute. And I was like, wait, hold on. And then I saw it and I was like, oh man, we might have to play our old I might have to play the old lives. The sound isn't the greatest though, because my mic was that Yeti, that blue Yeti. I didn't really like it. But we had some good lives. And welcome in everybody. Yeah, he was made for this moment.
We have a lot of information coming in, and we have tried to push out some information through press releases, but the reality is I probably should have been standing here a day or so ago, but I'm here now. We're going to continue to be here. We're going to continue to give you the information we can. We care about this community. I care about this community. I've worked here for 27 years. I want this community to be the safest community around. So
The mayor's called it a crime of passion. Is there any indication that that's true?
we're looking into every aspect of this. I'm not going to stipulate whether it's one thing or another. We're going to continue to investigate until evidence will get that. So
Okay. One
somebody
last
else?
question, if I could, Chief. Have we looked at any boyfriends or any ex-boyfriends, any spouses as a potential suspect?
I will tell you, we are looking at everyone. Every tip we get, every lead we get, there's no one that we're not going to talk to. There's no one we're not going to interview. There's no one that we're not going to look into. And we're going to do our due diligence. We're going to make sure that nothing goes unturned and that we do everything we can with the assistance of all the resources we have to get a final answer.
Thanks, Chief Frye.
So there were, sorry, I'm Emma Epperly with the Spokes
Hi.
Interview. Hi. So there were other roommates who lived at that residence. Were the roommates home at the time of the attack?
There was other people home at that time, but we're not just focusing just on them. We're focusing on everybody that may be coming and going from that residence.
So since they were home, was it a hostage situation?
No, it was not.
And then they didn't call it into police. So were they injured?
They were not injured. But like I said, we're still following up with everybody that could have been in that area.
And how can you say it's a targeted attack if you don't have a suspect?
Like I said, we take the totality of the situation. We try to make the best bit of information we can with everything that comes in. And then we make our decision off of that. So at this time, I'm not going to expand upon that. But like I've said, we do have a suspect out somewhere, and we are looking for that individual to solve this.
Hi, Rachel Sun, Northwest Public Broadcasting. I just want to clarify something you said earlier. Over the past couple of days, the information that we've been getting is there's not a threat to the public. And earlier I heard you say you can't be sure that there is no threat. I just want to clarify what your stance is on that at this time.
So we still believe it's a targeted attack. But the reality is there's still a person out there who committed 4 horrible, horrible crimes. So I think we got to go back to there is a threat out there still, possibly. We don't know. We don't believe it's going to be to anybody else. But we all have to be aware of our surroundings and make sure that we're watching out for each other.
Okay, and then one other follow-up. I know you said when the call came in, it was for an unconscious person, and also that was a stabbing. It seems, just from an outside perspective looking in, like that would be not the first thing a person calling in would think.
You're right. But the report that we got was that it was an unconscious individual. It wasn't until our officers arrived on scene, went in to do caregiving check on the individual who was unconscious, that we found the scene that we found.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Heather Roberts with ABC News. Just to follow up on what she asked. So the other 2 roommates were there at the time of the attack?
All the information that we have from our investigation is that yes, they were.
Okay, but they were unhurt.
That is correct.
So is there any explanation as to why it took so long then for someone to call 911? You have surviving witnesses to an incident at 3 or 4 in the morning, and the 911 call didn't come until noon?
I don't think I ever said that they were witnesses. I said they were there. So, we don't know why that call came in at noon and not in the middle of the night. Would have we loved for that to have happened? Yes, but that's not how it took place. So that's why we're investigating everything still to try to pull all the pieces together.
Were they one of the people, were they the 911 caller?
At this point in time, I'm not going to divulge who our 911 caller is, just because I want to keep the integrity of the investigation at this point. Okay.
Okay. And last question, are you able to tell whether the same weapon was used on all 4 victims?
That's why we're having the autopsies done. The autopsy will confirm that and hopefully collect some evidence for us, even from those. That's why you do the autopsies, is to try to be thorough and try to gather more. So we'll leave that would probably be something that would come out later.
Excuse me, Derek Shug, Fox News Digital. Was there anything missing in the home, or were the purses still there? Any robbery attempt, anything like that?
Nothing that we have identified. And I'm going to take about 2 more questions. All right.
Do you think at this point in their investigation they would have collected all 4 IDs by now? Like all 4 of their driver's license, because just to confirm who the person was, at the scene, maybe. I'm wondering, because of the Dateline episode that said that there were ties to that, or no, it wasn't Dateline. Forgive me. It was someone said that there was ties to the victims' IDs, the ones that were found inside the glove, inside the box at Brian Kohlberger's parents' house in the Poconos. So I'm assuming that they would have probably took their IDs to identify them, especially if they were found in the bedrooms, with the victims. I'm sure that when Kaylee and Maddie got home, if Kaylee did, which I think Kaylee's ID was probably in her bedroom, because she probably went in her own bedroom and got dressed and went to bed. But yeah, so Xana's ID card was with her. Yeah, I know that one was with her, but I'm wondering about, and Ethan's was probably with him in his wallet. It might not have been on his person. It might have been on the nightstand or in his jeans. Maybe his jeans were on the floor or something like that. But we don't know. We don't know what ID he had. So when I heard that, Mike, I was thinking, maybe he doesn't have an ID of theirs. But it did read ID cards on there. So or maybe it was a different ID card.
Hi, I'm Tim with the Daily Evergreen. I was just wondering, were the 2 other individuals present at the home when police responded at noon?
Yes.
Okay.
Chief, if you don't mind elaborating a bit more on those 2 people. Was it 2 people? What have those people shared about the circumstances of that night, what they saw or didn't see?
Well, I'm not going to go into what they shared that night. Obviously, that's part of our investigation. That's part of the information that we're trying to build our complete story with. So as far as that goes, we're not going to go any further into what they know and what they don't know.
How many were there?
We believe 2.
Chief, have you looked into the social media accounts of all the different victims, and we understand that one may have had an account linked to her Instagram account. Have you looked into those accounts? Have you seen any sort of threats made to any of the individuals?
So we are looking at all resources. We got, like I said, the Federal Bureau of Investigation helping us. We got our detectives, our forensic detectives looking into that. We're trying to pull this whole picture. We're looking at everything.
Okay, so forgive me. I thought that they only had the Idaho State Police then at this time. So they had the FBI in. This is on the 16th. So this is our first press conference. So for everybody that was saying people that say Moscow did a piss poor job, I mean, they can't just blame them. Then you have to blame the FBI, and the Idaho State Police are involved at this point.
That we can look at social media, etc. So to answer your question, yes, we are.
Were the victims all found in one part of the house?
I'm not going to divulge that either. That's part of our investigation. And at this time, I'm going to go ahead and close this off. But if you have any questions for the university, we'll open that up at this point in time.
Who has not had a chance to ask a question? Yes, over here. Yes.
Oh, thanks. Actually, I had a question for the chief, so I don't know.
Okay, well, you want to pass it?
Okay. What is the university doing to make their students feel safe?
Okay, we don't need to probably listen to the school part. I don't think that it had anything that was relevant in that part of the press conference because I have something actually better to show you guys anyway. That's like a documentary, and it's like 30 minutes. So I wanted to play that one for you, but I wanted to get you guys familiar with and caught up to this is going to be the 16th. So before I play like the documentary that I found, and I have never seen this documentary either. It came out right, I think it was like the 16th or 18th of November. Or no, it was like the 18th because it goes over the first week of the investigation. So it's kind of going to summarize everything that we went over tonight. So let's see here. Go back to the press releases and see what they have. We were on the 17th. They did put out a press release on the 17th, and it was the one that we just went over, the Latah County Coroner, the one that we went over before. That was the only one they had on the 17th. Then on the 18th, these are not in order. I hate that. Here we go. On the 18th, they had this update, Moscow homicide update. The City of Moscow Police Department is providing the following information to update the public on the known facts surrounding the 4 murders that occurred on November 13th in Moscow, Idaho. I was trying to find my glasses, sorry. On the evening of November 12th, Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan were at a local bar called the Corner Club at 202 North Main Street in downtown Moscow between 10 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. on November 13th. At approximately 1:40 a.m., Kaylee and Madison were seen on video at a local food vendor called the Grub Truck at 318 South Main Street and used a private party for a ride home from downtown to arrive at their 1122 King Road residence at 1:45. Investigators have determined that Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle were seen at the Sigma Chi House on the University of Idaho campus at 735 Nez Perez Drive at approximately 1:45 a.m. Ethan and Xana are believed to have returned to the residence at 1122 King Road. It was previously reported that Ethan resided at the home. However, it has been determined that he was only visiting. The other 2 roommates were at the residence that night. On November 13th at 11:58 a.m., officers responded to the residence after a 911 call reported an unconscious individual. Upon arrival, officers discovered Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan deceased inside the residence. Autopsies were conducted on November 17th. The Latah County Coroner confirmed the identity of the 4 murdered individuals and their cause and manner of death as homicide by stabbing. The coroner stated that the 4 victims were likely asleep, some had defensive wounds, and each was stabbed multiple times. There was no sign of SA. At this time in the investigation, detectives do not believe the 2 surviving roommates or the male at the Grub Truck on the Grub Truck surveillance video are involved in this crime. Additionally, online reports of the victims being tied and gagged are not accurate. So by the 16th or the 17th, they're already having to dispel rumors that the victims were tied and gagged. The identity of the 911 caller has not been released. As part of the investigation, detectives seized the contents of 3 dumpsters on King Road to locate possible evidence. Additionally, detectives have contacted local businesses to determine if a fixed blade knife had been recently purchased. And that's the first time I've heard a fixed blade knife. We just heard that it was a knife. At the time of this release, detectives have received nearly 500 tips, which are being processed, investigated, and cleared. Actually, you know what? Let me use the screen while I can. I wonder if I could pull this over. Oops, sorry. That way I can see the chat too. Additionally, wait, where's that? Okay, at this time of the release, detectives have received nearly 500 tips, which are being processed, investigated, and cleared. 38 interviews have been conducted with individuals who have information about the murders, who may have information. So 38 individuals have been conducted, or interviews have been conducted with individuals who may have information about the murders. So that could be, let's just say, That could be 38 people standing outside of their apartment that night. I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm just saying it could have been. It says anyone with information about this crime is asked to call, Moscow police. The Moscow Police Department is utilizing assistance from the Idaho State Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Latah County Sheriff's Office. Moscow Police Department, they have 4 detectives. At this time, they had 4 detectives, 24 patrol officers, and 5 support staff. The Federal Bureau of Investigators had 22 investigators in Moscow, 20 assigned agents located out of Treasure Island, Idaho, Salt Lake City, Utah, and West Virginia, 2 behavioral analysis units. Idaho State Police, they had 20 investigators, public information officer, ISP forensic service, and mobile crime scene team, 15 uniformed troopers to assist with community patrols. And it says currently there are no suspects in custody and the weapon has not been found. Anyone who observed suspicious behavior, has video surveillance, or can provide relevant information about these murders is asked to call the tip line or email tip at, the Moscow Police Department. The Moscow Police Department thanks our community for their continued support, understanding of the limited information we can share, and patience during this difficult time. That's the end of that one. I think this was the 17th, right? Or no, this is the 18th. So that was on the 18th. Yeah, smash that like button. Or Summer will put you in the corner, Jan, throw Summer in the butts. That's so funny. That's so funny. Let's go back to let's go over here and see what's going on the 18th. Anything else for the 18th? Nope. Anything for the 19th? Yeah. I think just one. Okay. So this is going to be a one for on the 19th, so the day after. And a clarification is coming out, it looks like. Let me grab my vape real quick. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. And if you guys don't mind just taking a second to hit the like button, really helps. We're going to just read through like this last document, and then I'm going to show you guys a documentary that I found that covers the first week of the investigation. It's from CREM 2. They did a really good job covering this case when they were down, I think they're from Idaho. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if they're, I think they're local though. But they really stuck to the facts of the case. So I really, really enjoyed it. So I want to show you guys. So it's Moscow homicide update, Moscow, Idaho. It says update 8:28 p.m. Clarification. The cell phone used to call 911 belonged to one of the surviving roommates. Due to the ongoing investigation, the identity of the caller has not been released. Moscow, Idaho, the police department, or Moscow Police Department is providing the following information to update the public on the known facts surrounding the 4 murders that occurred on November 13th in Moscow, Idaho. So this is when they're going to start giving us the facts of the case. Updated information says, at this time, detectives have investigated the private party driver who took Kaylee and Madison home on November 13th and do not believe he is involved in this crime. And it was a he. And it ended up being a he. Detectives believe that on November 12th, the 2 surviving roommates had been out in the Moscow community separately, but returned home by 1 a.m. The 2 did not wake up until later on November 13th. Initially, the 911 call made at 11:58 a.m. on November 13th requested aid for an unconscious person. So it sounds like they requested it. Like they said they were unconscious. The call was made from inside the residence on one of the roommates' cell phones. Moscow Police Department arrived shortly thereafter and found all 4 victims. It also says that the call was made from inside the house. Like they didn't say that the call was made from like right outside the house. They said it was made from inside the house. Now that could just be me like picking, I don't know. Fox News Digital 2. Yeah, that guy they had on there that he did the interview with the Gonzalez's like right after Michael Steve was really worked up. Oh, he was good looking guy. He had like the perfect smile. Oh, I'm sure we'll play the interview eventually throughout the series that we're doing. So we'll see him again. But yeah, they had some really good news. I was trying to find the local ones and like the best. I'm trying to stick away from like News Nation and those ones that have like sources that say sources, so that we don't get our minds, polluted with the sources. Oh, they did have one more thing actually come out on the 19th. This is when they gave us the map of the collection of the cell phones, or not cell phones. I'm sorry, the like cell phone towers, or I think that's what this was. No, this is sorry, the cameras that they were going to be able to pick up, like path of travel. Let me see if I can put it back just a little bit so you can see it more fully. But it's just the city of Moscow. I have like so many windows open. I'm going to close a few of these while we're just kind of looking at that. And I don't want to close anything that's important though. Let me watch that. Okay. And let me know here in a minute if you guys have seen this. I'm going to show you guys this here in a minute. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. I think that was it for the 19th. Let me just double check to make sure. And then the 20th, we're going to start tomorrow or on our next, Idaho Live. And then eventually, like after we're done with this whole like series, I have a full timeline of like all of the like minute by minute, like when they were sending the Venmo, when they were, where they went that evening. There's when the warrants were served and obtained. So like we'll go through all of that at the end because it'll be like a really nice recap, I feel like, at the end of the series. So I know ice cream sounds good. There's always car chases in California. There really are. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. I appreciate that so much. Let me get this on. Share this here. And I did put the link for this in the description if anybody wants to, watch it again or something or on their own. And this came out on November the 19th. So that's where we're stopping kind of like today. We just went from the 13th through to the 19th. So this is like a recap kind of. And I'm just going to kind of let it play through. I'm not going to try to interrupt it too many times. So if you guys don't mind just hitting the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'd love to have you. Let me take my glasses off. And if you want to become a member, I will put the link in the chat for you guys to become a member for our channel.
I've been here in Moscow on scene since about 3 p.m. Since I've been here, I've watched Moscow police cars come in and out of this neighborhood, where officials found 4 people dead. Neighbors say they began noticing police cars flood the area around 12 p.m. today. Moscow police say they responded to a call here on King Road for an unconscious individual. Upon further investigation, officials found 4 people dead. While police investigated the scene, the University of Idaho enacted a shelter-in-place alert as university officials reported a homicide near campus. As we've stated, that alert is lifted at this time. Neighbors say most people living in this area are a part of U of I Greek life or are students, but we do not know the identities of those involved or who lives at the residence. Officials are investigating. This is a very much developing situation, and we will continue to stay on the grounds until we have more information to report back to you. Until then, in Moscow, Janelle Finch, Creme 2 News.
So police still have this house here near University of Idaho taped off. This right here is where officers found 4 bodies yesterday. We now know the names of those 4 students. They were 20-year-old Ethan Chapin from Conway, Washington, 21-year-old Madison Mogan from Coeur d'Alene, 21-year-old Kaylee Goncalves from Rathdrum, Idaho, and 20-year-old Dana Kernodle from Avondale, Arizona, and they were all University of Idaho students. Here's a breakdown of the timeline from what we know so far. Around 1 p.m., we heard reports of a homicide investigation near the college campus. An hour later, the school put out an alert on social media. It said Moscow PD is investigating a homicide on King Road. They asked the community to stay away from the area and shelter in place as a precaution. Around 3 in the afternoon, Creme 2 arrived in Moscow. Neighbors said most people living in this area are a part of U of I Greek life or are students. At around 5 in the evening, the Moscow Police Department confirmed they had found 4 people dead, but it wasn't until late last night that they confirmed those victims were students. The university also said Moscow police do not think there's any active threat at the moment as they continue their investigation. Classes for University of Idaho students are canceled for the day. They say they will resume classes tomorrow. In Moscow, Nicole Hernandez, Creme 2 News.
Moscow police responded to King Road for a call about an unconscious person Sunday afternoon. When police arrived, they found the 4 deceased students inside the home. This morning, the city of Moscow and University of Idaho identified all 4 U of I students. Freshman Ethan Chapin of Conway, Washington, was a member of the Sigma Chi fraternity. Zana Kernodle, a junior from Post Falls, was a member of the Pi Beta Phi sorority. Madison Mogan was a senior from Coeur d'Alene, and Kaylee Goncalves was a senior from Rathdrum.
This is a pretty traumatic situation for our campus community.
Dean of Students Blaine Eccles says news of the suspected homicide shocked the Vandal community.
This is rocking their world. Many of them come from small communities where things like this have never happened.
He says drop-in counseling is available to students at any time. But he recognizes that many students have already returned home early for the upcoming holiday.
People need to navigate through this situation in the way that best suits them. If students need to go home, be closer with their families, want to return home, I support them in doing that. We're going to support them in doing that.
Support for U of I goes beyond the university campus. Businesses throughout the city of Moscow are offering prayers and thoughts for the Vandal community. And because Moscow is a tight-knit community with a strong relationship with the university, this response isn't a surprise to Mayor Art Bettage.
I feel very badly for them, and not just for the victims, but everybody else who's a friend and associate with those people.
He told me he was shocked by the news about what he's calling a senseless act of violence.
This is stuff that shouldn't happen, especially in a small, quiet town like Moscow is, where we're heavily involved with the university. And these are things that affect not just town, but the university, the students, lends everybody to a sense of insecurity about what's going on here and why. And it's a very tragic and sad situation all around.
In speaking with Kaylee Goncalves' mother and sister, they tell me Kaylee was a strong and passionate go-getter. She even already had a job lined up in the tech industry after graduation. Kaylee was one of 5 Goncalves' children. She graduated from Lake City High School, the same school as Maddie Mogan, another victim. Kaylee's family says the two were especially close, and Maddie was a part of their family as well. Kaylee's oldest sister, Olivia, shared a statement on behalf of the Goncalves family. It reads in part, "Kaylee was, is, and always will be our defender and protector. She is tough and fair, the ultimate middle child. She did absolutely everything she set her mind to. She didn't hold back on love, fights, or life. Kaylee was the ultimate go-getter and constantly wanted an adventure." We still have a lot of questions about what happened. Also looking for answers is Kaylee's family. Kaylee's sister Olivia asked the public to stop spreading rumors about what happened and wait for the facts from police. We are continuing to ask our own questions and will continue to bring you updates as we get them. In the studio, Janelle Finch, Creme 2 News.
Ethan Chapin, his brother and sister all grew up here together. They went to school here together, and together they enrolled at the University of Idaho. 3 inseparable siblings, now torn apart.
You just couldn't ask for better kids.
Dave Hayton considered Ethan Chapin family,
all the Chapin kids, actually. He and his wife watched them grow up in their Conway neighborhood. They'd come over for fudgesicles from the basement freezer. When the couple heard what happened, they were crushed.
She's crying. And she says, Ethan's been murdered. Yeah. I just couldn't, you just can't get your head around it.
All three siblings attended the Conway School before moving on to Mount Vernon High, where Ethan played on the basketball team and graduated last year. All three later decided to attend the University of Idaho. Ethan and his brother were members of the same fraternity.
I know I didn't sleep a lot last night. I'm just thinking of them. We had some good times together.
The Haytons treated the kids like grandchildren. The couple shared these photos from Ethan's mom's Instagram page, this one taken just a few weeks ago at Parents' Weekend. Dave recalls Ethan as smart, athletic, and always respectful. He says all three were great kids, and having one of them gone is inconceivable.
I remember last night I woke up several times and I think, gee, I wish somebody would just tell me this is a bad dream. But unfortunately, it's not a bad dream. It's a reality.
Still no word as to a potential motive in these killings, no word as to a potential suspect. However, authorities in Idaho do say that there is no threat to the public. In Conway, Washington, Eric Wilkinson for KREM 2 News.
We've watched this memorial grow all day long. Students dropping off flowers and stuffed animals, remembering the 4 young lives that were lost. And there's still a lot of unanswered questions tonight, like how this happened and why.
Like, it's all just shocking and scary. Like, I never would have thought that this would have happened here.
Tonight, yellow crime tape still surrounds the house where 4 young college students were found dead over the weekend, a crime shocking the University of Idaho community. Classes were canceled today, and some students have decided to go on Thanksgiving break early.
A lot of people left last night, and then we were like, I know we were like one of the only ones who actually stayed here last night. My mom has called me every single hour for since 7 a.m. this morning.
So I wanted to pause it here because you can see every picture we have seen of this front of this house after the cops arrived at 1122. I cannot find a picture where there is this camera still hooked up. So you can actually see it on here, the light bulb camera, the one that I bought, we did the live over it. It's actually in use still at this time. Have faith you made. You made me laugh. That made me really laugh. I don't know if anyone else caught that, but I did. What is cheer wine? I've never heard of it. I just thought it was like some like an alcoholic drink, maybe. Yeah, he definitely could have used that shower curtain too for to put down in his car, put around him, anything like that. But yeah, I wanted to point that out to you guys because it is there, and you can see the pumpkins on the porch.
So yeah,
and you can actually just see just how close it really is to that that west or whatever. I can't remember exactly what side of the house this is, but this side of Xana Kernodle's room.
They want me to come home if I don't feel safe.
Moscow police have not said much about what exactly happened, but they have released the names of the victims. 2 of them, Xana Kernodle, a junior from Post Falls, and Madison Mogan, a senior from Coeur d'Alene, were servers at the Mad Greek restaurant in downtown Moscow. The restaurant posted on Facebook saying the 2 brought so much joy to the restaurant and all they encountered. Mad Greek is now closed, giving staff time to grieve along with the rest of the community.
And the university is planning a vigil for the victims. That's taking place at 5 p.m. on Wednesday on the lawn outside the administration building. In Moscow, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Well, the Moscow Police Department hasn't added any new information since they released a press release this morning about the homicide investigation. But a few hours ago, we did.
I have something to show you. Hold on. Let me go back to that. Okay, right here. So there has been a lot of people on YouTube that are going around and they're saying that there is a camera on the back of this house. They're saying that they're on the 1112 house. So they're saying that where the police car is, that it's like right here. Well, you can clearly see this picture here. There's no camera. So there is no camera there. So anybody that says that there's a camera in the back of 1112 King, they're wrong. There's no camera back there unless it's invisible. Because I'm looking at it on like 3 different screens and there's no camera. But I wanted to point that out because I know that there's been people speculating about that. I wonder if I could.
About the
homicide. I can't. I wish I could zoom in. Is this going to be the car though that they were talking about? Actually, look in the background here. I don't know if it'll play it all the way through, but this might be the car that they were talking about. That people were saying that might have been Brian Koberger coming back around. You could see it up in the upper right-hand corner of the house.
Side investigation.
Right there. And that's not, so never mind.
But a few hours
ago,
ago, we did speak with the Latah County coroner. Kathy Mabbitt is calling all four deaths homicides and that the cause of death is likely a stabbing. But we won't know that for certain until the autopsy report comes back and she can make that official ruling. Now, to take that a step further, Latah County contracts its autopsies out to the Spokane County Medical Examiner. And I confirmed this afternoon that Spokane County is in fact conducting the autopsies on the 4 University of Idaho students. Now, the Spokane County spokesperson says the medical examiner has not yet started those autopsies. Once they are done, the medical examiner will forward her recommended findings to the Latah County coroner. And the Moscow Police Department or the Latah County coroner will release the official ruling. Now, this afternoon, when we talked to the coroner, she described a gruesome crime scene.
Well, there was a lot of blood. It was a very sad scene.
Mabbitt adds that she does not believe the toxicology report on each of the 4 University of Idaho students will be relevant to the manner or cause of death. Now, Mabbitt has been the county coroner for 16 years in Latah County. She says in that time, there have been at least 2 other multiple homicide scenes that she's been involved in. But she says this current homicide investigation is the only one she's been to where there are 4 people at one scene. Now, we are continuing to press local authorities like the Moscow Police Department, as well as the Latah County prosecutor. I have made multiple calls into their offices yesterday and today, have not got a call returned from either agencies. Now, we know there are University of Idaho students, their families, and the greater Moscow community, many of which are still concerned for their safety, even though the police department says there is no active threat to the community. So that is why we remain here in Moscow pressing for answers. And once we do get those, we'll continue to keep you updated. Reporting in Moscow, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
2 of the 4 University of Idaho students who died on Sunday, Xana and Maddie, both worked here at Mad Creek Restaurant. The restaurant has closed its doors for now, and they have also put out a memorial for all 4 of those students.
Tucked inside a Main Street restaurant bench is a memorial catching the community's attention.
The toxicology wouldn't matter because of the fact that they weren't, they believe that they weren't unalive because of drugs or alcohol is why they're saying that they don't think the toxicology report will matter. Because they literally were in their beds at home sleeping and somebody came in and did this. So I think that's where they're getting that from.
Including Annalise Mitchell.
Yeah.
She's a sophomore at University of Idaho.
I just wanted to kind of take a moment to remember them.
Annalise is one of many students struggling to process the death of 4 fellow classmates.
It's been surreal, devastating, horrific, honestly.
Annalise knew the 4 students from the university's Greek life.
When I did talk to them, they were just nothing but kind and nothing but bright and positive, and they definitely made an impact on everyone that they've met.
Now, as classes resume today, many students are leaving campus.
People can't even focus on their schoolwork. Like my sisters and I, we've tried to do our homework and it's not possible.
Annalise says for her friends that are still here, she's just being supportive.
Nothing will be the same. At least we're all here for each other and just remembering.
But that community doesn't take away the pain.
Just angry, honestly, because again, it's 4 people. It's 4 people that have touched so many lives and have touched my friends, and to see them in such grief and suffering, it just makes me angry.
In Moscow, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
It's not something you ever expect to hear.
Through the tears and shock, Jim and Stacy Chapin described the moment they found out their son Ethan was gone.
It's not a call that you think that you're going to have to speak with the funeral home directors and the FBI and have it hit national news.
Earlier this week, Moscow police identified Chapin as one of the 4 victims killed in the home just off campus. Stacy and Jim said their son was staying with his girlfriend at the house, who was also killed, Xana Kernodle. So far, police haven't released many details about the investigation, and as questions mount, the Chapins say they wanted to make sure Ethan's story was told.
It's important for us to get Ethan's story out. We don't really want anybody else representing him. And it's hard to have people speaking on his behalf. So we think it's best for us to do this.
He's the kind of kid that everybody wanted to be around. You know, he was just a good kid.
He's a good kid.
That
kind to all.
Didn't deserve what happened.
No.
They say Ethan was a triplet. He and his siblings were extremely close. In fact, they all decided to attend the University of Idaho. Jim says Ethan was an athletic kid who played club soccer and refereed youth sports. His smile, he says, lit up a room, and he made friends wherever he went. They had just spent last weekend at the university for Parents' Weekend.
And as we pulled out of Moscow, we literally were like, we've done it. We've literally done it as parents. We've created 3 incredible humans that will go on and have something great to offer to this world. Honestly, all 3 of them.
A week later, as they grapple with this horrific loss, they say they're determined to keep moving forward for Ethan.
But we will not let this sink us or sink our kids, because if anything, they have to go on and shine Ethan's bright light on their own.
Moscow Police Chief James Frye, University of Idaho President Scott Green, and the Director of Idaho State Police, Colonel Kendrick Wills, all spoke at today's press conference. Before Wednesday's press conference, Moscow Police had only told the public the 4 students were found dead inside the home late Sunday morning. Wednesday, they revealed that all 4 victims were stabbed to death. Chief Frye says 2 other roommates were at the home during the attack, but were not injured, and he is not calling them witnesses. He said they were also home when police arrived at the house. Frye did not say why the call to police was not until noon on Sunday, when the attack happened in the early morning hours. Police said it appeared to be a targeted attack, but did not explain why. Moscow police have also been saying that they do not believe there is an ongoing threat to the community. But today, the tone changed. Police say the search for a suspect continues and people should look out for each other. Meantime, we found this video from a Moscow food truck that's from early Sunday morning. It shows 2 of the students, Kaylee and Maddie, ordering food around 1:40 a.m. This is one of the last times they were seen. Moscow police say this video is helping investigators recreate a timeline of events from that night.
And it has helped. It gives us a time and space where we know that 2 of our victims were, and that helps us a ton, and we'll continue to follow up all leads that we can.
The family of Kaylee Gonsalves have seen the video and agreed to let us publish it. They identified Maddie Mogan wearing the long black jacket and Kaylee, who is with her, in the white sweatshirt.
It's normally a place where everyone feels really safe.
Joseph Woodall is the manager of the grub truck. He is seen in the video working the cash register, taking the girl's order. This afternoon, he described their interaction with me.
One of the blondes was just a little bit more cheery and kind of bouncing around a little bit more. And then one was like standing there and doing the hello, how are you, and goes through the interactions. And normally that's pretty normal. In most of our groups, there's people that are more energetic and people that are managing the energetic people.
Joseph told me he felt incredibly sad when he learned the news about the girls he had just seen the other night.
Hope they find the person. Hope they get the person.
Definitely a somber mood at tonight's game. Quite a few empty seats in the student section as well. A lot of them have gone home early for Thanksgiving break, but we talked to students that decided to stick around. They were at tonight's game and they told us they were happy the university didn't cancel this, gave them a chance to see some of their friends, classmates, and somewhat sense of normalcy. A lot of them telling us they won't feel entirely safe on campus until this murderer is caught.
Basketball fans, at this time, we ask that you please stand and join us in a moment of silence for the 4 University of Idaho students that were tragically taken from us on Sunday.
The names of the 4 students found murdered inside a home near campus were read aloud before tonight's game. The Moscow community still in shock.
Definitely like a ghost town here. Weird seeing everyone just pack up and leave.
Like many other students, Jessica Jacobs and Asha Cummings haven't been going to class and say they don't feel as safe alone or on campus as they did a week ago.
The only reason we're still here is because we had a little trip planned going opposite of our homes, but you know, we've been staying together every night, trying to stay as safe as we can, but we definitely aren't going to go home early.
A question of safety is on everyone's mind right now.
During a press conference this afternoon, University of Idaho officials said they've increased campus patrols and students can request a security escort across campus day or night. The university is also excusing all absences.
That if they want to leave and go home now, they absolutely can. We're going to support them in doing so.
Classes were canceled the day after the 4 bodies were found, but resumed on Tuesday. School officials say some students want to keep their minds occupied.
They gain comfort in being around their other students. They gain comfort from interacting and staying busy with their faculty.
I'm happy they're still doing it, and we're here to support our teams, so we're happy to be here. Lucky that we still get to come to this and feel safe here.
And the university has postponed a candlelight vigil until after Thanksgiving break in order to give as many students that want to attend the opportunity to. That's scheduled for sometime on November 30th. In Moscow, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
The Spokane County Medical Examiner finished the autopsies yesterday and sent them over to the Latah County Coroner. With that, the coroner sent out this. You can see here at the bottom of the document, cause of death, homicide, murder, and manner of death is stabbing. Moscow PD says whoever did this used a large knife. We also learned yesterday Idaho State Police say investigators think the killer got in the house through the sliding glass door. ISP says the forensic team is taking another look at the house to make sure they didn't miss any details.
We intend to come out and solicit information from the public if they are within certain areas that we believe are of interest for this investigation. And so hopefully today or early tomorrow, we will come out with a map where the victims were at specific times during the night and ultimately ending at their residence.
The FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit is now helping in the investigation. They do crime analysis, create suspect profiles, and help with interview strategies. ISP says an FBI command vehicle is on its way to bring Moscow up more resources. As for the other 2 roommates who were home during the attack, ISP says they are cooperating with investigators. They are not suspects or persons of interest as of now, but ISP says nobody is clear from the investigation yet. In the newsroom, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Earlier this evening, the University of Idaho released a statement urging students to be vigilant. For those that are still here, security will increase over this weekend. Moscow police say patrols have also ramped up around the community. The school district says patrols will monitor the area around its schools. Idaho State Patrol is helping with this extra police presence. People I spoke with in the community today are less concerned about their own safety and more focused on making sure the suspect or suspects are found.
In your 70 years of living in this area, would you ever have thought that something like that could happen?
No, really.
No,
I definitely was shocked and a little scared, but at the same time, I do have a feeling that the person who did this was somebody that they knew. And so I wasn't personally afraid.
This morning, I noticed quite a few more law enforcement just out and about. I'm really grateful for them.
People say they're thankful Moscow PD are calling on the necessary agencies to help protect the community and figure out what exactly happened on Sunday. In a press conference yesterday, we learned from the Moscow Police Chief, James Frye, that the department has called on 25 plus investigators, the state police, and FBI to assist in solving this case. The Moscow Police Department maintains that this was a targeted attack. For that reason, the people I spoke to say they don't personally feel a threat in the community. But like said, the University of Idaho is reminding people here to remain vigilant and provide any and all information you can to Moscow police. In Moscow, Janelle Finch, Crime 2 News.
People across the country want to know what happened inside this home and why. For those living in Moscow, there's still a lot of fear and uncertainty. And how could there not be? 4 young college students were stabbed to death, and their killer still hasn't been caught. Ever since the yellow crime tape went up, the Moscow Police Department has faced scrutiny for not providing as much information about the case as some would like to know.
You know, there's some things that only the people that were at that scene would know. And so you definitely don't want to release that information to the public.
Gary Jenkins is the former chief of Pullman Police and now serves in that role for the WSU Police Department. He says sharing details is a balancing act, keeping people safe and informed without compromising the investigation.
Just trying to make sure that when detectives go out and interview people, it's based on what they know, not what they've heard on the news.
The University of Idaho told students this week they could go home early for Thanksgiving break if they didn't feel safe around campus, and many already have. Jenkins says that could pose a challenge for detectives trying to interview witnesses. It was for him during the hazing death of Sam Martinez, which also occurred right before Thanksgiving break in 2019.
Most of the witnesses left town, and that's the type of investigation you need to have a one-on-one in-person interview. And so it does definitely complicate that investigation.
Jenkins says the answers all of us want could take time.
They're trying to juggle a lot of balls in the air right now, particularly with 4 victims. It's going to be a very complex crime scene. It's going to be a complex investigation.
New details are emerging in the stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. Tonight, the Latah County Coroner says the 4 students were likely asleep. Some had defensive wounds, and each victim was stabbed multiple times. Authorities found no sign of sexual assault. Moscow police say at this point in the investigation, they do not believe the 2 surviving roommates or the man seen standing near a local food truck were involved in the murders. Police also addressed rumors swirling online claiming the victims were gagged and tied, saying those are not accurate, and the identity of the 911 caller has not been released. Detectives say they've received nearly 500 tips, which are being processed, investigated, and cleared. 38 people who may have information about the murders have been interviewed. The whereabouts of the killer and the knife used are still unknown. Detectives seized the contents of 3 dumpsters on King Road to look for evidence. Police have also gone to local businesses to see if anyone recently purchased a fixed-blade knife. Anyone who saw something suspicious, has video surveillance, or can provide relevant information about the murders is asked to call the Moscow Police Department.
Investigators are still trying to piece together where the 4 University of Idaho students went the night before they were found in their Moscow home, stabbed to death. Investigators are hoping the map released today will provide additional tips from the community.
The map details the night of Saturday, November 12th into the early hours of Sunday, November 13th. It highlights locations and approximate times when Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan were in downtown Moscow, while Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle were at the Sigma Chi house. Investigators believe Madison and Kaylee were at the Corner Club on Saturday from 8 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Sunday. Then they were at the Grub Truck on Main Street at 1:40 a.m. 5 minutes later, the map says they returned to their home on King Road. I drove that route this afternoon, starting at 4th and Main and ending at the King Road home. With some light traffic on the road, I arrived at the house in about 3 minutes. This suggests it's reasonable to believe Madison and Kaylee traveled by car from the food truck, but that detail has not been confirmed by police. Investigators also say Ethan and Xana were at a party at Sigma Chi from 8 to 9 p.m., then returned to the home on King Road at 1:45 a.m. The fraternity is a short 3-minute walk from the house, but still, there is a 5-hour gap on their location between the party and arriving at home. Investigators hope someone might remember being at or near the locations they've identified around the same time and potentially saw something suspicious or relevant to the investigation. Police are asking those people to call the tip line or email with that information.
This is all good information, but it brings up even more questions, such as, did investigators use the students' cell phones to identify the locations and times on this map? Did Madison and Kylie walk or drive or get a ride back to the home? And did Xana and Ethan spend only 1 hour at the Sigma Chi fraternity? I have several calls into Idaho State Police and other local authorities working this investigation. I have not heard back, but we will continue to press for answers as this story develops. Reporting in Moscow, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Summer, I can't even do the line. She said, hell no. I can picture you saying. Ain't nothing open at 4 a.m. but legs in the ER. Also, Jack in the Box is open at 4 a.m. That made me laugh. We need that sometimes, you know? Oh, I think this is the end of the thing anyway. So that was perfect timing. You did it at perfect timing because that was the end of the the documentary. But that was funny. My eyes are watering on. Oh man. You're making my eyes water. That's funny. That sounds like something my mom would say. Let me blow my nose really fast now. Because you know once I start laughing, I have to blow my nose. That's just so funny. I don't even know where that came from. But that was funny. Oh man. Oh. Okay. My eyes are watering. That was funny. Thanks, Summer. I'm going to remember that. That was so funny. That I got Summer an earring thing so she can take out her earrings, an earring emoji. But I don't know how good it is. Let me see. Oh, you can't really see the face on it, but it's like a mad face. They're like these little dangly earrings. Oh man. Okay, so that got us caught up to November the 20th. Well, that's where we'll pick up next on our next live. I did notice, let me check over here. Let me check something real fast because it looked like they did. How long was this? 36. Okay. So tomorrow, maybe we'll take a break from Idaho and we'll go and we'll do Rachel Morin again. Her, the mother in Maryland that was murdered along the Ma and Pa Trail. They Law and Crime, they came out and they did like a premiere. So I'm hoping maybe they have some new information. KK said I'm still holding this for you, sis. That's funny. I'm about to already take my whole damn ear off, guys. That's funny. You guys are funny. Misbehaving low. I just told my mom last night I was going to back away from this case, and here I am tonight. Sounds like me. I've literally, since November 16th is when we started covering it on this channel. I believe it was like the 15th or 16th. I've only went one full day without watching anything Idaho related. One day. And it was like a day and a half. And I was supposed to remember like months ago, I was supposed to take some time off. That was like 4 months ago. We're still sitting pretty here. but you know, we'll get there eventually. I am going out of town in September to go to California. But I don't know exactly when. But I'm still going to do lives and stuff because that's going to be prime spot. And you know what? Thank you for asking me that. Actually, where'd it go? The Alexi Trevino case. Kristen said, would you guys be interested in that? Like if I did that case, because I know that I'm kind of behind, and I thought about I wanted to do that one because it's getting crazier. Oh, you're welcome, Jay. Thank you for sticking with the facts and not conspiracy. I can't watch so many channels anymore because they entertain absolute nonsense. Oh my Lord, have mercy. What I saw. I don't watch a lot anymore, and it sucks because I used to love watching like different channels because then you get different perspectives, but it's not different perspective. It's beyond. I popped into a chat earlier, popped into one, and they were still looking at the picture from the 1112 camera, the still shot that shows you nothing. It doesn't even show you the house. It doesn't show you anything. They were still looking at it, zooming in. Is that a person? Is that a thing? No, that's a trash can. It's just a trash can. It's not moving. It's just a trash can. I told you guys, when that Linda Lane footage and stuff came out, I'd rather watch paint dry. So what I really think I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the wall and I'm going to record it. And then I'm just going to play that on a live one night. And we're just going to watch the paint dry. Because it'd be much more entertaining than looking at that still shot. Yeah, they were, Frenchie. They were still they were still looking at it. And I'm like, these people that are looking at this stuff, and they know it's bullshit. I'm going to say it right now, just, because I feel like it. And I usually keep my mouth shut. They should be ashamed of themselves. I'm going to say that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Like, really. You should apologize to your subscribers and your members because you're making them come to your lives, watch this bull crap that you spew. And then when it is debunked, 2 seconds later, they come back and they do a video. Oh yeah, that we debunked that. No, you didn't. Somebody else debunked that. Or they'll just move on from it. And it's like, wait a minute. I just wasted 6 hours of my life looking at a videotape that had nothing to do with nothing. Does anybody feel that way? You know who doesn't? I don't feel that way because I didn't watch that crap. I didn't watch it. I just didn't. I watched 45 minutes, I think, or an hour of the Linda Lane footage. We saw it. I think I watched it 3 times, once by myself, once with Vincent, once with you guys. Your girl had a meltdown. I was like, I'd rather watch paint dry, y'all. Like, if you want to see me cry, have me watch a video of an overlay or something. I've been here since the Kylie Rodney case. And when that case happened, that was tragic. And it was huge for a huge case for me. And then when they had the video of her car going into the reservoir and everybody started doing overlay videos, overlay. I can't even watch I can't watch overlay videos. I just can't. They hurt my heart. They make my head hurt. Nancy Grace is peeking at us. Mary Beth said, she's always looking. Seriously, Jason. I'm just a man. I keep my mouth shut pretty good. I was getting so frustrated with that damn footage. Yeah. I don't need to spend a week watching it. Yeah. And it was I saw people, I can't stand to watch the Linda Lane. I can't stand to watch videos like that. I can't stand it. And maybe it's because I'm blind in one eye and maybe I don't see things that other people see, but I just don't see it. But I was just, I get frustrated because then I'm like, you're wasting all these subscribers' time. Really. And then people will think if they say they see something, then other people may think that they see it too. And then all of a sudden there's new footage out that we've never seen of, and it's Brian Kohlberger committing the homicides or something. Do you know what I mean? It's just something so outlandish. It's crazy. When did I miss that? We're in 2023, not 1963. Technology will nail. Yeah, will be the nail. It got Murdoch. I was just getting ready to say that. It got Murdoch and so many others. I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to have a little bit of that. So no, Mystic, no Idaho updates. We're just doing some past. We started, from the 12th on our last live, and then today we did the 13th through the 20th. And then they just had the Zoom link for the family members. That was just the new document that came out. Really, Christine? About not being BK's car? Oh, man. I don't know who it is because I'm just not good with, I never watch people's shows anymore. I need you guys to all watch them and then let me know. Just kidding. I can't watch them. Let's start our own conspiracy. Doodlebug, I already have one. Vincent, he's going to come on panel one night and he's going to not show his face. He's just going to sit here beside me. I showed you guys how I can pull up to 2 panel boxes, and I'm going to get him a voice changer. His name is Cave. He has a backstory. He is a Sigma Chi fraternity member. He goes to the University of Idaho. Yeah, Cave. Yeah, he's been around for a while. He's been around since, Dave, when Dave came out on Truth and Transparency's channel. That's when Cave came out. He goes by Vincent, but his real name's Cave. And he's going to come on the show and tell us, all about being in the fraternity. And he has a girlfriend. She has a friend that has a sister that has a boyfriend that has another friend that's her sister's cousin, twice removed, that went to the University of Idaho. So she might be able to give us some insight. I don't know. I just made that up. Oh, the picture of this one? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Vincent's right there. Yeah. Well, if he's on panel, we're not going to show his face. We're not going to show his face, so he's fine. He can stay back there. We'll do a different face. We'll give him a cartoon face. Vincent wouldn't do it. He won't come on panel, or I would. I would do it as like a gag. I would do it. I would clickbait. I would clickbait a title. I would so bad. I would, just to get this chat full, just so I could, just as like a social experiment or something, just to see. Cave, yeah, that's what I called him. When I heard that interview, my ears had like smoke coming out of them, I think. And because I was like, are you kidding me? Like, anybody can have the voice changer. They're $20 on Amazon. I was mad about that. I was like, oh geez, how'd you remember all that? Brother, sister's, girlfriend's, cousin removed. Yeah, no, I just made it up. I put my nephew on cartoon face and he blocked me. That's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna get a yellow hat. That's where the yellow hat comes from. Because it's like her Curious George hat or something. I don't know. One of these days I have like so many really cool ideas for these little TikToks to do, and they're gonna be funny. I told Vincent I want to do one like just like funny ones, like Crime Circus. He cracks me up with his stuff on Idaho and just the conspiracy crap. So I told Vincent to like draw some spiders on my face, and I'm gonna get like a smoke machine. It's just gonna be like a TikTok, and I'm gonna go boom, and I'm gonna have like the most random things, like that aren't like that we already know, like Brian Kohlberger, boom, because he always says he's gonna create booms, and then they're not booms. So that's what I always like. I like to tease. I like to tease and have fun. Somebody could tease and be me. Or be like Dot and pretend that you're using a voice changer, but it's really your real voice. I haven't really seen this stuff with Dot. I do have a TikTok. Yep. Let me I want to do one, Anita. I want to do one on Drip Trop so bad. I want to do the spiders and everything. I just think it'd be funny. It'd be funny. I could even tag him in it. Just like funny things, like just to like kind of take a break from all of the seriousness all the time. Shim instead of Kim. I could be Shim. Because I can pull up another y'all don't even think I won't do that. I can pull up another one on my phone and then just mute me and talk into the other one as Shim. I love that. and then come back on his knee and then come back on his shin. I love Shim. I love that. If you're listening, Shim, she's not listening. She knows better. Oh, yeah, I could do that. Nancy's a guest. Bombshell. Yay, Megan, yeah, add me. I'm going to try to do more TikToks. I'm getting a little better at them, sort of. I don't know. I do a lot of, I have a lot of stuff like tapes that I need to put on there. That's so funny. AKA Sham. And that's what we'll do too. So as we're going through our series, maybe at the end, we'll go through like all of the bull crap again, because I found notes. I need to refine these notes, but I found notes from the first interview that Kim did where I was just like writing out stuff. And it was like, this was wrong. This was wrong. This was wrong. It's like the first time she come out. So yeah, that'd be funny. I should do a real Halloween. Yes, have faith. That'd be funny. Reba, good. I'm glad you're laughing. I'm glad I make you guys laugh. I try to at least make you guys giggle a little bit here and there. You know, have to. Can't be serious all the time. I wasn't born that way. I wasn't. You know, we talk about a lot of serious stuff. And I always have Nancy over my shoulder. She scares me. But I am going to do something with Nancy where we need to use her for our benefit. I did do a video of Mia. I showed you guys the one of Mia, like she hates Nancy, but I did an unboxing video. So I think I'll post that on TikTok also. But I am going to jump off of here. Like I said, tomorrow, maybe we'll do Rachel Morin, or maybe we'll do Alexi. I'll do a community post and see what you guys think about the Alexi Trevino case, because I don't know of a whole lot of people that are covering. I mean, I know some people, but not a lot. So, and it's a pretty good one. Stung to high heaven from the beginning. So much BS. Jay, you are absolutely correct. And then when we heard the emails that she was sending around to people, I was so mad. Summer remembers. I don't even know. We should go back to that. I wish we could go back to our text message from that day, but that's so long ago. There's so many messages because I was so mad. I was just like, I'm going to do something to her myself. I'm like, oh, good, Idaho. Like, yeah, I remember I was pretty upset. She overdosed on her Adderall. Yeah, she did. She took everybody's. Nobody had any in my chat for like 2 months, and we were all bouncing off the walls. We couldn't keep a topic to save our life. But I'm so glad that you guys, people have too much free time, Hurley. They do. That's what I tell people, just go outside, touch the grass a little bit. And I need to do that actually, because it's been really crap here the last 2 days. Let's see. Is the weather going to be nice where you guys are tomorrow? If it is, make sure you get outside and sit in the sun for a little bit, because it's not going to be here much longer. It's not. And I'm going to be so sad. Wednesday is tomorrow, right? Oh, it's going to be 80 degrees here. Oh, is that 90? On Monday and sunny. Okay, yeah, I'm excited. Well, I'm glad that you guys had fun and you guys laughed a little. But I will call in to be Shim. Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be so good. But your accent, we got to cover your accent up, because they'd be like, that girl's Southern. You'd be like, y'all, I just moved here. You're the new foreign exchange student. So I think I hear the food. Benson's making us some food. So it'll be hot till December at least on Florida. Yeah, no, not here in Ohio though. Oh, 115. Oh gosh, 100 tomorrow. Oh man, no, it's only gonna be 80 here, but I gotta soak it in while I can. But I'm gonna jump off of here. I will see you guys all tomorrow, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. And we are doing members lives. I think we're gonna start doing them on like Sundays. I think that's a good day to do it. So make sure you become a member if you'd like. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye guys.